G'day traders, this is Sam here to give another update on another cryptocurrency. In this case it's ADA, and what I'm going to look at is at the weekly and then the daily, or 3 days and the daily, and look at the indicators and price levels and so on, and let's just go through it all. Okay, what we have is ADA on the weekly chart, and what I like to do is just get rid of that, and what we can agree on is pretty much that this is a key level of significance and a neckline, if you want to call it, and we can say that that was pretty much roughly a head and shoulders type of scenario. And if we were to measure that move from the top to the bottom, we pretty much met our target, give or take a little. And if we were to use this particular spot, it's perfect, where there was a rejection. So it's the neckline could be, if we're going to really semantics, the neckline could be like that. Okay, give or take. And yes, so that explains it. And what we have here was a great opportunity to short. I missed out on that. And what we have is our early wave count, which is where it's the target. What we're looking at is an ABC type of move, and what I've highlighted here is ever so detailed. Let's just zoom in a bit so you can have a look. We have the macro fib set out, and you can see that 0.382 aligns with this wick as well as this weekly level, and also a wave 5. So that was a great entry. I missed it, I wasn't watching it, so that's a bummer. And you can see the big 50% bounce. And what I've done is that level of significance, I'll put the one there and the Fibonacci, and we have 0.618 is roughly this range here, which equates to the weekly level. So that is a level of significance. So that's one hurdle. And if I was to take this up slightly a notch higher, and you can see the 0.5 also roughly in the middle of that as well. So can we get there? Very possible. And so far this 0.382 is likely to be resistance, which is pretty much the bottom of that wick. And we can potentially get a pullback and then another attempt, and maybe a failed swing and back down again. We have that trend line, so it's going to be a very strong shorting position. We have the weekly candle there as well. So here we have the weekly as well, so we're going to have a strong resistance level there. Now this fib, so if this was to be the rejection, and if it was to go to the downside, I am looking from a swing high to a swing low to this level. If that was the level there, then we got a Fibonacci to the downside. And if you look at this, the Fibonacci extension 1 equates to this level, which is pretty much a level that's confluent with many other levels. So that is a key level for me to go long, jump in there, and if that was to come that low, that is where I'm waiting for reservations. Now this is the bearish scenario. There is that slight possibility that see this level here, that level, between that level and this level here, the 0.5, we might be able to get a bounce again, and we'll reassess. But then this is going to be major resistance, so it does give the excuse to keep going down. The 618 is pretty much a strong one, so it might, if it capitulates, this blue box is definitely one area, and it could potentially just be that could be it. So what we're looking at, a mild to a deeper correction. So it really depends on that. You can see here it's a 95% drop. It could potentially be a 93% drop, and this level As you can see, it's another weekly level there, weekly candle. See where the weekly candle closes. You can see previous resistance, support. So that level, which is about 20 cents, is worth buying into. So I would average in and see what happens. That's the plan at the moment. And if it was to go that way, this was taking place. So you can see the trend line is also and a wedge, and yeah, we can do that kind of thing and break out. So we just got to watch it as the time comes. So that's the bearish scenario. Now let's look at the bearish scenarios RSI. So that can play into the weekly where it just keeps going down and down, accumulation before it breaks up. So this RSI is going to be needs to be well watched, and if we break above it on the weekly, then we need to see it go above. I think if we go above this level here, where this bottom was here, if we go above it, I think that's a good bullish sign for reversal, because the RSI is pretty much all the way down. So that is from the weekly perspective. At the moment, if we look on the daily, we have a nice bounce. We have our volume profiles, and the volume profile looks like that. We're going to come to that level there. Let's just get rid of that for a sec. Where is it? Let's get rid of some of that. So currently we're oversold, so we expect a bounce. Another question is, you can see that previous week, that is going to be a strong resistance, and it's aligned with the weekly, and we've got this level of support that used to be support. So that is going to be very difficult to pass. So we might just keep going up and then get a nice top of swing trade back down again. So definitely looking to short here, and looking at, so downtrend we need to go down with the downtrend, and if the ADO gets to bounce out high, that is a good level to short, and make sure your stop loss is somewhere above. If we're to go bullish, we need to see this, and it's going to be difficult, but it's the way it goes. We need to, if it was going to be bullish, this probably won't go down, will stay, and then up, and then we'd like to see it keep going up. So we need to pass this level, this neckline, for confirmation, and then we go bullish all the way. Yes, it's very late in the picture, but the formations will give us a clue. So if you have consolidation like this, and we'll look at Bitcoin, look at the stock market, they all have their input into this. At the moment, on the daily, because this is such a capitulation, that is our selling climax. We have our automatic response. So we can be here for a while. I don't think it's going to be any that quick. I think it will be something like that, along those lines. See if we have a wick off bottoming effect, and if not, then we are pretty much going to go down further. But first things first, we need to break this key level, which is a 618. We break above this blue line, which is 74 cents. Then we can start looking at bullish scenarios at the moment, but I don't see that happening. I see this red zone as potential resistance, and as I said to you guys, I do see this A, B, and C all the way down, and you know, we'll see how we go. But that is potentially a real good scenario. If this plays out, I would start averaging in, and anyway, let's see how it goes. But that's what I got for now. Definitely looking to short this market. Talk to you soon. Cheers.